Or maybe they pleaded with Jesus, increase our faith. Or did they demand from Jesus, increase our faith? We don't know how the disciples said this to Jesus, but I think we know why. Our reading this morning starts simply with the disciples' words. But just before this, Jesus has told them they must forgive someone who sins against them. And not just forgive, but forgive even 7 times a day, or 7 times 70, or a lot. Forgive. The disciples' response to this forgiveness requirement is to say to Jesus, increase our faith. That's how it is, right? We come up against a new challenge and we say, or plead, or demand from God in the middle of the night, increase our faith so we can handle what is coming at us. Personal, professional, or relationship challenges, challenges of gun violence or education in our city and country, challenges in our country and relationships around the world. We understand where the disciples are this morning. They stand as we do, faithful followers of this Jesus, and they wonder if they can indeed tackle the challenges set before them. Some of those challenges come to us from God, to love one another, feed the hungry, visit the sick, forgive. Some of those are the ones life just throws at us. We wonder, can I do this? Do I have enough faith to make it through? When the disciples say, increase our faith, what is Jesus' reply? All you need is the faith the size of a mustard seed with only this little much. You can tell a tree to be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it will grow. You have to love Jesus' sense of humor, though I'm not sure the disciples did at that moment. I do believe, though, that we have this much faith. This much faith inside of us that we want to come out. But it takes work. There's a story about Michelangelo pushing a huge rock down the street. A curious neighbor sitting lazily on the porch of his house calls out to him and asks why he labored so over an old piece of stone. Michelangelo is reported to have said, because there is an angel in that rock that wants to come out. Like the angel in Michelangelo's rock, our faith, even if unseen or uncarved, wants to emerge. That's why we're here this morning. That's why the disciples say, they ask, they plead, increase our faith. They have had a taste of it, and they know it. They now have this new challenge, and that bit of faith is pushing its way forward to help with it. We have this much faith, friends, or we wouldn't be here this morning. Perhaps weary, perhaps tired, perhaps stressed or sad or lonely. You've got this much. Perhaps distracted and writing your shopping list in your head right now, pretending to listen to me. Perhaps worried about a child and whether she'll cry or not. Perhaps here to celebrate a victory. Perhaps newly in love. You have this much. And it is enough because God gave it to you. In the end, it is not about the quantity. How much faith we have isn't all that important because Jesus' answer is, you just need this little much. The issue is how we live together faithfully with it. How do we keep from leading one another into the valley of the shadow of death? How do we manage to keep forgiving each other and ourselves over and over and over again? How do we manage to love those who are different from us? How do we stay in relationship? How do we value others? How do we deal with the hard things in life? Well, I have there's that whole right division thing in Habakkuk or Habakkuk or Habakkuk. Write the vision. What is the vision you have for your life? What is the vision we have for this church? What is the hope God has for us? There seem to be 4 things to help coax the faith out of our lives. individually, but it works for a community as well. First and foremost is take care of each other. To get to know each other better, to get to know ourselves better, to entertain each other, to lavish each other with attention. Figure out what your gifts are, what our gifts are in community. Love on each other. It takes time because we are not simple people, and this is not a simple church. Tell our stories, the ups and downs. Give each other the room and the information and the resources we need. But take care of each other first. Secondly, practice radical hospitality. Have some fun, eat and party a lot. It is biblical. Jesus shows up a lot at the table and invites a lot of people. Anyone, actually, he meets to break bread with them. If you were here last night for the spaghetti dinner, you know we do this well. And people came into our midst, strangers who felt at home. We set a fabulous table here, and we have the ability to make everyone feel welcome here because they are. Our world needs that. Our world needs to calm down and sit a spell, and the city of Baltimore can too. Third thing, care for the poor, also biblical, also St. Francis that we celebrate today, also Jesus. We have an abundance of resources. We must keep sharing them as a community, as individuals, offering them up for the Spirit to bless. Of those to whom much is given, much is required. It doesn't say expected. And finally, we're called to take some risk for Jesus' sake. Life is short, and we do not have much time to live out into our fullness as individuals and together. It is a crazy time to be alive, a crazy time to be church, and we need to keep trying new things, scary as they may be. I wrote in the email a couple of weeks ago that one definition of crazy is appearing absurdly out of place or in an unlikely position. It is what we are called to do as Christians as we claim to follow this Jesus guy. It is what we are called to do as the body of Christ. Sometimes we find ourselves out of place as we gather for prayer, for fellowship, for service. And yet those are always the places where I find a glimpse of or feel the presence of the Spirit. Try something big and audacious. We've done it at least once here before, and I think we'll need to do it again. So welcome home this morning, disciples. I'm grateful for your passion for life, for the love of all things in creation. Thank you for bringing what little teeny bit of faith you have here. May our time together carve out the rest of the angels within us. Thank you for bringing your big hearts here this morning, full of courage and love and hope. Let's sit a spell together and then find some trees to pluck up and plant in the sea and see what grows from them. Amen.